And here we go. What is going on, everyone? Today, it's Adam Rich, first and foremost. And today, I wanted to talk to you about next level thinking. And I know this can be many, many different things, ideas, or whatever that can mean a lot of different things. But what I wanted to get to today, specifically, when I'm talking about next level thinking, is I'm talking about when you're preparing for something, are you just thinking about the task at hand, or are you thinking next level, total outcome, total? Have you thought the whole process through? Have you thought where it's going to end up? Have you thought if how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect others? Have you thought basically just trying to envision all of the ins and outs of whatever your next task is? Now, today I'm specifically talking about in case of, say, you're starting up a new business, or you're trying to take a new leap at a new job, or you're working on a new project, and or even a new relationship. If you have something that's new and you are something, a new endeavor, a new adventure, a new journey that you're on, how much thought do you put into these things? And really, I wanted to focus more on today, like new business opportunities, because honestly, when it comes to next level thinking, when it comes to overall thinking of everything, you can apply this method that I'm about to lay out in many different ways, all shapes and sizes, all forms of just anything that you get yourself involved in, really. I mean, I basically want to teach you how to think, not just what to think. And because this is huge, this is a big deal. Like when I was younger, my dad always taught me, he always used to tell me, he said, I don't want to teach you what to think, I want to teach you how to think. And there's a huge difference with that, because I know it sounds very similar. You know, like you can think that the sky is blue. You can think that the grass is green. You can think that the earth goes around the sun and things like that. But next level thinking involves why. There's a wisdom element to it. And this is what I think is absolutely important, because I do believe that knowledge is extremely powerful. It's extremely important. And the more knowledge you have, the better off you'll be in all ways of life. But next level thinking, in my opinion, is more about the wisdom behind it, because there's a huge difference. A lot of people don't know this. There's a huge, huge, colossal difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is knowing something. You know that the sky is blue. You know that grass is green. You know that the earth goes around the sun. The wisdom is knowing why, how, like what is causing it, what happened before, what happens after. It's a mindset. It's a whole different way of thinking. It's like for instance, wisdom is knowing that if you treat somebody a certain way, you can expect them to react a certain way. You can expect the way that they treat you to change. You can, like for instance, all right, I'll even go back to the old school. Everyone knows this example, King Solomon. Even if you're not a religious person, even if you are an atheist, if you are anti-Bible, most people know this story. It's a very common story. But King Solomon, he was known for his wisdom. He's considered the wisest man on earth of all time. And he had this case brought to him. People would visit him from countries all over. Everyone would come to him for his wise words that would help guide their lives. And this wasn't just like knowledge. It wasn't like they would come to him and be like, hey, what is the square root of 81? And he'd be like, 9. It wasn't that. That's knowledge. That's not wisdom at all. That has nothing to do with wisdom. That is knowledge. Purely knowing the before and the after, and nothing in between, and no effect, no cause, no reality, none of that. That's not wisdom. That's knowledge. That is knowing that if you know that there's gravity, you know that if you throw something up in the air, it's going to come down. That's not wisdom. Wisdom is more along the lines of, man, if I do this, the people that it affects are going to respond in a certain way, in which term they may look at me differently, they may treat me differently, they may react differently around me. And if they do that, then I will have to counter with this. And people will feel a certain way if I act this way, or if I say this thing, and I can expect to know this. That's not knowledge. That's more wisdom, because it kind of involves more of people's feelings, emotions. It plans for outcomes. Knowledge is more like 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 5 is 10. And it's not just math, obviously. Let me give you the example with King Solomon. When a woman brought to him, she had a baby. And this other woman claimed it was hers. Now, there were 2 women claiming the same baby. Now, the knowledge is obviously both of those women can't possibly be the mother, right? Maybe neither of them are, but they both can't be. They can't both be, especially back then. Maybe now with the stem cells and you have lesbian weddings and things like that, maybe now you could have 2 moms. But biologically speaking, especially thousands of years ago, you literally could only possibly have 1 mom, and everybody had to have a mom because the only people that could ever possibly be born were born from women. That's kind of knowledge and wisdom, technically speaking, because the knowledge is, okay, well, a child was born from a woman. That's more of the knowledge part of it, because we knew that all people, man or boy or girl, all people are born from women. That's knowledge. We know that. That's very, very common knowledge, to be honest with you. Where this story went, though, is that these 2 women both were claiming this child. Now, the child only has 1 mom. One of these women is clearly lying, possibly both. So the knowledge is knowing that the child has 1 mom. Here's where the wisdom came in. Solomon knew that that the real mother of the child would have deep, deep feelings for this child. And a woman who's just a liar is going to think or feel certain ways, different ways. And the wisdom is knowing how people will respond to certain actions, certain words, certain sentences or phrases or whatever like that. Solomon had this wisdom. This is what he knew. What he did is he made a proposition for these 2 women. He said, listen, okay, since I don't know who either woman is the mother of the child, possibly neither, since I don't know who the actual mother of the child is, I'm going to cut the baby in half. I know this sounds crazy brutal. It would be unheard of to even think to make this kind of a suggestion in today's world. But this is what he did. He said, I'm going to cut the baby in half. That way, since I don't know who the real mom is, I don't know which one of you is lying, I'm going to cut the baby in half, and you guys can each have a half. That's fair. And now, anyone with wisdom, with common sense, that's a decent human being would know you don't cut a baby in half. You're not splitting halves here. Okay? But this is where his wisdom excelled, because back then, he made this proposition. He said, I'm going to cut the baby in half. Each woman gets a half. And then we're all happy here, right? Everyone gets a half, and then it's fair. Well, the woman who was not the mom, she immediately was like, yeah, okay, that's fair. That's good. Let's do that. I'll take a half, and you take the other half. That's fair. The real mom couldn't stand the idea of having her baby, the love of her life, her child. She couldn't stand the idea of killing this baby just to be fair. So what she did is she told Solomon, she said to the king, she said, no, don't harm the baby. Don't cut him in half. Give her the child. Give the other woman, who is definitely not the mom, give her the child. And Solomon said, there we have it. I know who the real mom is. It's the mom. It's the woman who does not want to see any harm come to this baby. Because if you are a mother and you genuinely, and now obviously think about this for a second. If I was just some crooked, evil piece of human trash and I didn't care about life and I didn't care about babies and all I wanted was just, for whatever reason, the upper half of this child or the lower half of this child or whatever. You cut it lengthwise, right? I'll take a left, you take a right. No decent human being would make that call, especially for their own child. Now, if you were a shitty human being and you didn't care about the life and all you cared about was you just gaining something in return, well, then maybe you would make that call. Now, it is a human life. It's very extreme. I'm sure most people to this day wouldn't make that call. However, There are women and men who end up having kids when they either aren't prepared, they didn't want it, or whatever, and then these horrible pieces of shit end up killing their child because they don't want the burden of raising a child, or they didn't want the kid in the first place, and blah. It's a horrible thing that you could do. First and foremost, if you have a child and you don't want the child, if you're pregnant and you don't want the child, have the child and then just give it up for adoption. You don't have to raise the kid. And first and foremost, if you are going through the steps of or the act of creating a child, you should have the responsibility to either A, protect yourself and not get pregnant, or not get somebody pregnant. This applies to both here. But if you do end up accidentally getting somebody pregnant, or you accidentally get pregnant yourself, don't just kill the kid. That's not the right call. You have the kid. Now, obviously, you didn't want the kid. You weren't prepared for the kid. You don't want any children. You don't want to raise any kids. You hate the sight of kids, right? You still don't kill the kid. You give it up for adoption. Somebody will love that child and raise that child. They're not like dogs that are just waiting to be euthanized. Somebody out there is going to take on this child and raise this child. There's no shortage of that. There's plenty of people that can't have children that desperately want to adopt. Give them the option. Be a decent human being. To me, and I know this is extreme case, but I think it makes a valid point here. I think it's an analogy. When Colin Kaepernick got his Nike shoe deal, and I know people are going to be like, what the F are you talking about? But listen, it's relevant, trust me. When he got his shoe deal with Nike, and half the country was like, yay, Kaepernick, and the other half were like, screw Nike, and people were burning their shoes, the people burning your shoes, idiotic. It's just a dumb call. If you all of a sudden hate Nike for that reason, which that's up to you. I don't care if you did. If you hate Nike, you hate Nike. If you love Nike, you love Nike. Whatever. If you burned shoes that you bought, that you spent your own money on, even if you didn't spend the money, if somebody did, if somebody just gave you these shoes, right? The fact that you burn them is just is ridiculous. It is really, really, I almost said a bad word I shouldn't say. No, but like it's not smart. It doesn't make an ounce of sense. If you don't want the shoes anymore, if you give up all your Nike gear and you don't want nothing to do with it anymore, burning it is stupid. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It just pollutes the air, whatever. And I'm not trying to push some eco vigilance here or anything like that. But the point is, you don't burn the shoes. Give them away to somebody who does want them. Give them to a homeless guy. Give them to charity. Give them to a veteran that's on the streets that can't, also homeless. Give them to somebody in need is basically my point. Anybody. Give them to a sibling. Give them to a younger child. Give them to a friend that just loves Nike and doesn't have the shoes and you don't want them anymore. Even if the person thinks you're an idiot for your views, they're going to gladly welcome all this free Nike stuff. Because even if they hate Nike, they can take it and they can give it away. My point is, you don't just eliminate something and destroy it because you don't like it. Somebody out there wants it. If you can't sell the thing and make a profit, give it away. Be charitable. Be a decent human being. Give away something for free for once in your life. You know? And maybe you're an extremely charitable person anyway. Then I'm not talking to you. You already know to do these things. But if you just destroy something because you don't like it, it's idiotic, man. You can either make money off of it or you can give it away to somebody that's in need. That's the wisdom. That's wisdom right there. Now, the knowledge is knowing that if I hate Nike, I don't buy Nike. The wisdom is knowing that, hey, I got all this Nike stuff laying around. Instead of destroying it because I don't need it or throwing it in the dumpster because I don't need it, let's do something positive in the world. Let's give it away. Let's sell it. Let's put it on eBay. Let's make some money. Look, there's many, many options that don't involve destroying perfectly good things. I don't understand why people do this stuff. And the same, and I know I was just trying to be funny when I used it as an analogy, but it does hold true. You don't eliminate something because you don't want it. You give it away. You do something positive with it. Adoption with the child. If you don't want the child, you give it up for adoption. You don't just have, like, listen, I'm not all for the whole, like, the abortion thing, man. And I'm not sitting here trying to preach to anyone. If you've had an abortion, you've had one. I'm not judging. If you want to have an abortion, I'm not judging. That's not what this one's about here. That's not at all. What this is about is next level thinking. It's thinking beyond the immediate. It's not, it doesn't mean next level like if you're not smart, you're just never going to get it. No, that's what I'm trying to help. That's what I'm trying to teach is there's always more options. There's always something you haven't already thought of. There's stuff I haven't already thought of. No matter how many videos I make telling you and teaching these things, there's so many things that I haven't thought of either. We all have this. The point is, try, like use your head, come up with a plan, come up with a strategy, and think about what you can do to do more, to be better, to go above and beyond, to go next level. That's the point. It's really what it's about. If you're starting a new job, or a new business, if you're just, say you have a job and you hate your job and you're just like, man, I always know that, like, I know that if I was my own boss, I could do this and I would do things so much better. You may think about those things when you're not a boss, right? But are you thinking ahead to put yourself in a position to become a boss, to become an entrepreneur, to basically to do what you want that makes you happy? And this is the whole idea that I've been thinking about this like all night when I was at work, because obviously I have a job that, is not my absolute passion, and I love doing this. I love doing this to help people and try to relay the message and talk and communicate and help learn, and myself included. Like, that's what it's about. I always want to be thinking next level. I always want to be thinking about what else could I be doing? What else can I add? Say you're a YouTuber, right? Or a podcaster, and you have videos, that things you've made and things you've shown this, or you've done a product review, or you've given a whole lesson on how to do this. Well, maybe now that video is over and done with. It's already been posted. People have already viewed it. People have already listened to your show, your podcast. Maybe you're done with that topic, but you've also now, later on, you've realized, man, there's something else, and I wish I would have put it in the video. All right, well then make a new video. Add all that same stuff, re-talk about that stuff, because now you still got that same video. You still got that same show, that same podcast. You still have all those listeners that you've had before. Or you've had all those views or downloads or whatever. But now you can make a new one and you can update it. And you can even title it. You can even say in the description, like, for anyone who's seen this video, we dive back in, we rehash some things, and I got some new methods or some new ideas or some, 2-3 more things that I want to add on to that I forgot the first time or that I've learned recently, things like that. There's never a time where you're just done. Like, that's why I talk about next level thinking, because a lot of people, like, this is how it started for me. I'm at my job and I just very unhappy, and I was like, you know what? I've wanted to do certain things for a long time, and I've never taken the action. Well, then I started thinking to myself, the next level is, the regular thinking was, I could be doing so much more. I could be doing better. I know I can do this. I know I can do that. I really like this. I really like that. That's first level thinking. Everyone has those thoughts. I could be doing so much more. I could be doing this. Oh, I'm so much better at this, but I don't do it. And I know I have a gift to share with the world, and I just haven't. That's regular thinking. That's original thinking. Everyone has the shoulda, coulda, woulda thoughts. And that's fine, and that's a start. That's obviously your baseline. That's where you want to, that's day one stuff. Next level thinking is implementing. It's implementing thoughts. It's, I know I can do this podcast. That's thought one. Thought two, next level thinking is, what will it take? What do I have to learn? What video should I watch? What should I read? What equipment do I need? Where should I buy it? Where can I get good deals? Who should I subscribe to on YouTube to give me the best information? If I'm looking for a microphone or a video camera or a computer or any of this, where should I find it? Oh, Google. Well, maybe I should Google search how to do this. Maybe I should Google search, how do I start this? Like, dude, for me, Google was literally my next level thinking. That was step 2 through a million for me, because the first thought I had was, man, I'd really love to do a podcast. Because I've always wanted to do a show. When I was younger, it used to be hardcore all about sports. I wanted me and a buddy to do a sports show and just have our own original take on things. I wanted to have a good, fresh, point of view and all that stuff. And I still like that stuff. I'm still going to talk about that stuff sometimes. But that was just level one thinking. That was just, one day I'm going to do it. Now, I'm talking, like, I'm 35 now. When I was 21, I was having these thoughts. Like, it took me almost 14 years to finally start implementing. I'd say somewhere between 12 to 13 years before I finally started implementing those thoughts. And it didn't just stop with, I really want to do this. What should I do, or how should I do it? It was, where do I find this? Where do I do this? I'm going to Google this. If this guy does it really good, I want to mimic that. I want to find out how he started, what got him motivated, who did he listen to, who does he talk to, who does he watch, who does he pay attention to, how was he raised, where is he from? Like, that's next level thinking, man. Thinking about all outcomes. And not just that. You want to take it next. You take it another step beyond that, and it's not just how do I get started. It's where do I want to be? Where do I want to end? Is there an end? Do you have an end point? Is there a point in time where you're like, all right, that's all I cared to do and I'm done? For a lot of us, I don't think there is an end. I think it's just, let me get started. Let me see what I can do, and let me keep going and going and going. And wherever it goes, like that's what it's about. But you have to have the right, not only starting point, but the right frame of mind. You have to be in the mindset. Like, I look at it like a boxing match, or a championship football game, or a race to run, right? You got to get yourself mentally and emotionally prepared for the long haul, dude. It's not about day one. Day one is the easiest. Everybody starts. Almost everybody starts. But how many people finish? How many people continue when it's rough? How many people are still out there running when it's raining and snowing and muddy and dirty and there's traffic and there's all these obstacles coming your way that you didn't know that you were prepared to handle? But you got to be mentally ready to think about that stuff, man. You have to think about it beforehand. Imagine obstacles, and then imagine how you're going to respond and handle those obstacles. You have to envision yourself getting knocked down, just so you can envision how you're going to get back up. That's next level thinking, man. And it doesn't just apply with a business. It applies in all things, man. If you're starting a new relationship with somebody, if you got a new girlfriend or boyfriend, right, and you really like some things about this person, but you're still not sure, what do? You don't think to yourself, well, I just want to see how it goes today, and maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and decide it's over. No, you don't think like that. You genuinely, when you meet a person, you kind of get a vibe from that person, and then your mind starts running like, man, could I, I'll go on 1 or 2 dates and see how this goes, and then after that, if I really like this person, maybe I pursue longer interests. Maybe one day I'll ask this person to move in with me, or I'll move in with them. Maybe one day we'll get married. Maybe one day we'll have children. Maybe one day we'll get a house and a picket fence and a little dog and all that. You start thinking about, like, in girls, I know sometimes we'll start thinking like, oh, what's my last name going to be like if I take his last name? It's going to sound like so-and-so now this, or whatever, right? And you start thinking about these things. That's the next level thinking. You don't just think about, well, I'm going to date this person today, and tomorrow when I wake up, we'll see how I feel. And then the next day, I will see how I feel again. Like, it doesn't usually, maybe that's how the first week or two starts. But eventually you get to this point where you're like, all right, I got to start stepping my game up. I got to start thinking about this. I got to think, where am I going to be in 5 years? Where am I going to be in 10 years? Where do I want to be in 5 or 10 years, or 15 or 20? Like, with this, right? Making these videos. I don't want to just make this one video, hang it up, and then be like, hey man, I just hope for the best. I'll go back to my job now. No, I got to go back to my job. Like, that doesn't stop. I have to do that because I need to make money. And right now this isn't making me enough money to quit. So maybe I should set up a Patreon. Maybe you guys can throw me a couple of bones here, No, but seriously, like, it's, you got to think way down the line. And it never hurts to, people will talk about, like, being over prepared, and I've never heard that in a negative. I really haven't. Like, I've never heard somebody say, well, I was over prepared and it really hurt me. What? No, that does not happen. You can be over prepared, meaning you've thought about so many things and only a couple of them came up, that's a good thing. That means not only did you know all those things that came up, you also prepared for extra. And you kind of do this like with job interviews. If you go in for a job interview, you start thinking maybe when you're out in the lobby, maybe you didn't think about it before you on the drive in, but maybe once you're sitting there waiting to be called up for that interview, maybe you're thinking to yourself, okay, they're probably gonna ask me this, they're probably gonna ask me this, they're probably gonna ask me this. How am I gonna answer this one and this one and this one? And hopefully all the questions in your mind you've asked yourself, you've answered thoroughly, professionally, and you've gotten it out and it was good. And then hopefully some of those questions don't even come up. And then you're over prepared, right? Any day of the week, I would rather be over prepared than under prepared. And I spent the first 30 plus years of my life being under prepared. Just like I would think about things, but I just wouldn't prepare for it. I've always had a curious mind to wander and be like, man, if this job opportunity calls me and they want me to come in, man, maybe I should wear this and maybe I should do that. But then I never thought to myself all right, and then after 6 months of working there, how am I going to like it? Or what kind of job is it? Do I even like it? No, my thought was, I just need a job. I just need to get paid, right? And then I would start the job and then maybe I'd hate it. And then I'd have to go through this whole process again. Now I'm going to think about this. Now I got to go look for this job somewhere else. Now I got to go apply here. Or maybe I hate this place. Maybe the wage wasn't so good. When you don't prepare and you don't think ahead, when you don't have that next level thinking that I'm talking about, you end up getting in what seems to be an endless cycle of failure. And I was doing that to myself. I was always doing that. Like every job I've had, I've always just thought to myself, okay, I'll just start there and see how it goes and hope for the best. Now that I'm older, I think to myself, okay, if I want to quit the job that I have, don't just quit and go work somewhere else and hope that it's better. And then if it's not, quit there and then go to another place and hope that it's better. And then hopefully eventually I land on something that I like. That's not the answer. That's not the right answer at all. I was doing that and it's a failure. It's a horrible way to go. But what I've learned is that now I am still at this job that isn't necessarily my favorite place to be. And instead of just quitting there because I'm unhappy, I think to myself, well, I am getting paid pretty decently. It's affording all my bills, food on my plate, roof over my head, things like that. It's not hurting me to have this job. It's just not what I love. It's not what I want to do for the next 5, 10, 15, 30 years, right? It's not. So instead, what I'm now next level thinking is, what is the job that I do want? What do I really want to do for a living? What really would make me happy? And pursue that. Man, in tunnel vision that. The pursuit of excellence starts with all up here, man. It always starts up here. It's all about your mindset. If you think to yourself, well, I just want to get a job. I just need to pay my bills. I just want a job that I don't hate. Well, good luck, because 99% of jobs are awful. Most jobs are built to suck. That's why somebody's got to pay you to do it. Not every job, obviously, but I would say at least 99 out of 100 jobs suck. There's one every now and again that's like, man, this ain't bad. Like I used to work at a tanning salon when I was from the age of 16 to 21. It was my dad's cousin, my second cousin, my uncle Jeff. I called him my Uncle Jeff. He was technically my second cousin. Anyway, he had his own tanning salon. And he asked me when I was just about to turn 16 years old, I hadn't even got my license yet, and he asked me, he said, hey, would you want to come work for me at the tanning salon? Well, I was working at Wendy's, right, slanging burgers and what have you, and the job for me sucked. Maybe you love it. I hated it. So it was terrible pay. You always left work smelling greasy and sticky and like food, and then I hated the food because you're always around it, so you really don't like the food after a while. Now I love Wendy's again because I haven't worked there in 40 years, whatever it is. So anyhow, when I was 15, just about to turn 16, my uncle called me and he said, hey, do you want to come work for me at the tanning salon? I didn't know what it was like. All I knew was it was a tanning salon. I was young and there was going to be tons of women coming in, and I was just getting my license, 16 years old, just get my license, single. I don't even think I was single at the time, but me and my girlfriend at the time were just kind of on and off all the time, whatever. All I knew is that it was going to be different than smelling like grease and food. I was going to be able to dress decent, work at this tanning salon where tons of people were going to come in, and I always loved interacting with people and talking. So I was like, this is going to be awesome. There's going to be hot, beautiful women coming in all the time. This is going to be a dream job, right? Well, that's about as far as I thought ahead. I didn't think to myself like, man, I wonder what the 401k is like. I wonder what the benefits are like. I wonder what the insurance package is like. I wonder how it's going to be when I'm 30 and 40 years old. I wonder what it's going to be like if I retire there. I didn't think about none of those things. And maybe back then at that specific time, maybe it didn't really matter because that wasn't the type of job to gain all those other things I just named. However, it wouldn't have hurt. It couldn't possibly have hurt me to think about those things. However, at 16, I didn't care about a 401k. I didn't care about, nor did I even know what that even meant, really. I didn't care what it meant. I wasn't thinking about my retirement. I knew I was 16 and felt like I had 1,000 years to go before I would die, right? You don't know how long you have. So you just assume I'm young. I got all the time in the world. Why do I care about retirement plans and 401ks and insurance? I'm living in my parents' house. My dad worked at GM, so I got plenty awesome benefits back then. Those things didn't matter. However, I'm not discouraging you from thinking about those things. Think ahead. Next level thinking. I cannot stress that enough, man. This applies with all things you do in life. If you're getting into your car to drive to work, don't just think about starting your car. Don't just think about, well, in however many minutes I'll be at work. Think about your drive. Think about your plan. Think about what you're going to listen to. Think about how your day is going to be. Try to mentally get yourself prepared for the day. Mentally in your head, start thinking. Don't just think about how shitty your job is or how much you hate it there and all this stuff. Don't think about those things. Try to plan out, okay, maybe you hate your job. Maybe the whole way in you're thinking to yourself, I hate this place. I don't want to go there anymore. I hate this place sucks. I need to get a new job. Maybe that's all true. But if you think that way the whole way to work, you're going to arrive at work and you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be unhappy. You're not going to want to talk. You're not going to be in a great mood. And it's just going to start your day like garbage. It's going to suck. So instead, think about what can get you in the right mindset. Think about what can make you happy. Don't think about how shitty your job is. I know it sucks. We all hate our jobs. Well, most of us. I don't want to say all. Most of us hate our jobs, right? So don't think about that part of the job. You already know that that's coming. You don't even need to think about that. That's not something that needs to be in here right now. You already know that, right? It's like I don't drive to work thinking what 2 + 2 equals. I already know that shit equals 5. So the point that I'm getting at is that don't think about those things. I do it sometimes too, and I try to quickly go, no, get that out of your head. It doesn't matter. You know the place sucks. You know you're not going to be happy at work. So instead, what I try to think about is, I think about not only what I'm going to do after work, that I might enjoy. Maybe you don't enjoy it. Maybe you're dreading the thing that's going to happen after work. But I try to take my mind off of the things that suck. Try to take your mind off the things that you already know you're not going to like and start focusing that energy on. Like when I was at work today, for instance, I'm going to give you an honest example. When I was at work today, I was thinking about this talk. I was thinking about the next level thinking. I was thinking about thinking. And that's no bullshit. That's exactly what I was thinking at work. One, I was thinking, okay, when I get home, I'm going to make a video. I want to help people, their mindset. My whole purpose is really to help either like educate, entertain, the thought I want to just motivate and help people. Like I want to help you get to where you want to be, where you need to be. Because for a long time, I thought these things and never implemented it. And that was on me. That's 100% on me. And I'm trying to make sure you don't do what I accidentally did. If you're younger than me and you're hearing this, you already have like a step up on me. You know what I'm saying? If you're 34 and you're hearing this, you're already a year ahead. Because it's not that I just learned it today, but my point is I'm just now talking about it. I'm just now implementing it. I think these things, and maybe I talk about it with a couple of people around me. I always try to help motivate people to be better, to know better, to do better, to be more positive. And trust me, it is so much easier to tell somebody else to be positive. I know that when it's myself and I'm in a really bad place, I don't want to be told, like, oh, keep your chin up, buddy. It's going to be better. The sun's going to come out again. Like nobody wants to hear that positivity stuff when you're angry. However, what you do need to hear when you're not angry is what you should be thinking about when you become angry. Because this helps me, man. I'm telling you, like, nobody preaching good, positive vibes into my ear while I'm pissed is helpful. What's helpful to me is knowing that being positive, knowing ahead of time that being positive is ultimately, infinitely way better and way more productive and way less stressful, way less damaging to your body and your mind than being negative. Being positive is always the better answer. So what I do, and I'm very seasoned at this now. I'm more of, it's more of a veteran move for me now. And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just saying because I've been beaten so badly so many times that it took me getting knocked down over and over and over and over and over, but always getting back up. That's the thing, man. And I'm not saying that that can happen easily for everyone. It's not easy, but you have to know how to think. You have to know what to put up here when times are rough. And here's what I do. And maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe it will. Hopefully. This is what I do. When I get pissed off, like say I'm at work and my boss just craps all over me or does something that I hate, or the company does something that's just malicious and greedy and wrong and it makes everyone angry, I'll vent about it. Like I'll just rant hard for a few minutes, right? I just blurt and I try to do it in a way that's not going to get me fired. I mean, I've been there for a long time, so it's not like I'm pretty like, I don't know, like I know what not to say, you know, like what's going to get me fired. At the same time, I know that if I don't get it out, it's going to destroy me inside, and I'm going to take that home with me, and then I'm going to be angry at home, and I'm going to be non-productive. So what I do is I literally, man, even if I got to be alone to do this, like, which is rare, sometimes I just blurt stuff out in front of people, and I'm not saying that's the best method, but it helps me. I blurt the things out that I think need to be said, the things that I know maybe people don't want to say it, but I do say it, and that's it can be a problem, but the way I look at it is this: if you're willing to be the voice of people when other people aren't, it's your responsibility. If you know better and you have I don't want to say just the balls, but if you can say the right things, if you're smart enough, you're wise enough, and you have the gall, I'll say, right? The brass balls, the gall. If you have the strength, the courage to be the voice, to tell somebody what's up, you know, when they're screwing up and when they need to hear it, 99% of people won't say anything, man. I've learned that. Like, it's weird. I was always taught that way, to do that. Like, I was always taught, don't take the shit. Don't take it. You know, when things are going wrong against you, voice your concern, because not everyone will. And a lot of times people would just roll over and keep taking it and taking it and taking it because they don't have they don't have that inner strength to just say what needs to be said. I say it. I say it all the time. Even when it makes me look bad, even when it makes me look like a whiner or a complainer or a crybaby or however you want to look at it, I say the things that need to be said because people need to hear it, because if nobody hears it, how are they ever going to know to fix it? And two, a lot of people don't have the balls to say stuff. A lot of people, like I deal with a lot of ass kissers. There's a lot of people I work with that just love to and just put it right there. I don't do that. I've never been that type. And I'm not the type that's going to tell my boss he's pretty that day or go grab him a cup of coffee just so he'll maybe give me a raise one day. I don't care. Listen, I'm going to earn the raise myself or it ain't going to come to me. And I don't care about that kind of stuff because I honestly feel like, you know, what I'm meant for in life, what I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to have, what I'm meant to earn, it's going to happen. It's going to find its way there. I'm either going to find my way to it or it's going to find its way to me. I don't need to be blowing some boss or kissing this guy's ass or running to, oh, I'll go clean that up, sir. Oh, I'll go take care of it, sir. I'm not that type. If you are, that's fine. I'm not trying to knock that. If that's your thing and you're good at it and you like it and it's benefiting you in life, you know, keep doing what you like. Keep doing what's getting you where you need to be. I'm not that type. I've never been that type. So I'm going to tell you what you need to hear because not many people will. I'm going to tell you what's true, what's honest. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but facts are facts. One of my favorite people, one of my favorite celebrities, Ben Shapiro. He's You know, a quirky guy. He's really funny and he's super quick-witted. I've watched him debate many people, and he just annihilates people, and it's really beautiful to watch. It's art. It really is. But one of my favorite things that he says is facts don't care about your feelings. It doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to be offensive. My point is, if I say something that is honestly true and factual and it bothers you, I don't care at that point. That's not my problem. I'm the guy that needs to tell you what is honestly happening. Real life, real talk, true stuff. Because not most people ain't going to tell you. Most people want you to feel good about yourself and want to tell you the nice things that get you, you know, feeling good. And I want those things too. I want to help people. I want to get people to where they're not cocky. Like, I have a lot of people at work tell me that I'm cocky. And I do that sometimes joking around, but at my core, I really don't feel it better than anybody. I don't feel like I'm better than you. I don't even know who you are, and I don't feel better than you. I don't feel like I'm better than you. I might be better at a certain thing. What it is, I don't know. But that doesn't make me a better person, a better human being. All I know is that what needs to be said, I'm going to say it, because the voice of the people is just quieted, regulated. It's silenced so much because so many people are scared to say what needs to be said. Don't be those people. You know, if you have the ability, if you have the, I don't want to say eloquent is the right word, but I feel like I can make my point and make it I can make it professional if I need to, and I can make it really personal if I need to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can handle myself in a battle of wits, in a debate, only if I'm right, though. If I'm wrong, then I'm going to get eaten up. I'm going to get chewed alive. It's going to happen. But you got to know that you're right. You got to be smart. You got to be wise. You have to know the outcomes. You have to think ahead. If I say this, what's that guy going to think? What's that girl going to think? And I do this stuff in my mind. I don't say stuff rarely do I just blurt stuff out and just hope for the best. Sometimes I do, but I got to be in I got to be in the zone. I got to be in a place, you know, for that to happen. But when I'm at work, man, and like say the company is being extra greedy, boy, I do not hesitate to let them hear about it. And I don't care. The worst thing they can do, here's the way I look at it. I'm not trying to get fired. I'm not trying to lose my job. I'm trying to make this a career. I'm trying to be better at helping you guys and making videos and content that will help people. I'm trying to do that. That's my goal, man. That's my thing. But by no means am I trying to not get fired, or I'm trying to kiss this guy's ass to make sure he doesn't hurt me in some way or whatever. No, I know that I'm one of the very rare people at my company that will actually tell them what they need to hear. And here's the point. Here's the reality. Here's why I do it. I know that when I'm telling these people things that they need to hear, it doesn't come from a place of like, I hate you guys, so I just want to tell you to go F yourselves. That's not what I say. What I say is, you guys screwed up when you did this because it affected these people in this way. And if you really want to make people feel better, you would stop doing this and you would start doing this. And do you think that they like hearing that stuff? No. They don't ever like a peon like me coming up to them nobody in top management ever likes anybody underneath them, no matter how much they get paid or how smart they are. Nobody wants to hear that their opinion or decision was stupid or terrible or sucked or anything. They never want to hear that it was a bad idea. Nobody ever wants to hear that their idea is a bad idea. However, sometimes you got bad ideas. Sometimes some of the things I say are going to be bad, or sometimes I'm going to be wrong. I hope not. I'm not trying to be wrong. I'm trying to give as much positive, helpful, honest information as I possibly can. I just want to help. That's the whole point of doing this. Anyone who's followed me along in this whole thing knows that that's why I'm doing this. It ain't just about me. If I already know this stuff, it doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form to just blurt it out for myself. So clearly, I'm doing this to help people. I want people to succeed. I want to be, the big brother when somebody needs a big brother to stand up for them. I want to be the guy that helps push you to that next level. And I don't mean just in the thinking, I mean in life, man. If you have goals and you're trying to achieve them, but you're just the little person that doesn't know how to start or doesn't know where to go or doesn't know what to do or doesn't have the confidence, please allow me to help. That's why I'm doing it. I do, like, even if I don't deserve it, I have the utmost confidence in myself, my abilities, what I can do. Even if I'm not that great at something, I believe that I'm great at it just so I can be better, because I don't believe, like, you should never go into anything thinking that you suck. Okay? You should know that you could be better, and I do believe that. I do believe I can be better. But I have the confidence to believe that there's nothing that I can't accomplish if I don't try and practice over and over and over. And I believe that for everybody. It's not just me. I'm not saying this in an arrogant, I'm better than you kind of way. And I know that sometimes it's going to sound like that. I promise you that's not how I mean it. What I mean is, you need to find self-confidence. You need to have confidence inside, because most people ain't going to build you up with it. Luckily for me, I had two loving parents that instilled confidence in me, told me that no matter how many people can do this, you are also just as capable, if not more capable. Why? Because you have the mindset. I had parents teaching me at an early age. I had parents helping me learn that you can be anything that you want to be. You can be great. You can be excellent at anything that you want to do, but you have to know that you can do it. Like, you have to know it in here. Not like you have to read and study and then pass an exam to know it. I mean, you have to feel it. You have to honestly believe it in yourself with no proof, no evidence that you can do it. And only then will you be prepared to go out there and try, to go out there and do it. Like, if you ever walk into any situation and you think that you're going to fail, you're right. You automatically win. You just won. You just won the lottery of knowing that, hey, I think I'm going to suck at this, and then you do, because you felt that way going in. You cannot feel that way going in. You have to know that no matter what, like when I first started podcasts, anybody that listens to my first few shows or watches my first few videos will tell you straight up they weren't that good. And I can handle hearing that. I know they weren't that good. However, before I made my very first video ever, I said to myself, of course I can do this. If other people can do it, why on earth could I not do it? Like, I have that kind of confidence. And it's not because I'm arrogant and I'm better than everyone and blah, 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 blah. It's not that. It's knowing that every human being has a gift, has potential. Human beings are capable of doing so many incredible things that you don't even know you can do. So I look at it like this. If any human being on earth can do something, so can I. That's how I look at it. And obviously, there's going to be small little things here and there, like maybe you have physical, like for instance, I'm not running a marathon today. I'm not in the shape for it. So if you're to ask me, oh, you think you can run a marathon today? I'm going to tell you I have the confidence in me right now to know that I could run a marathon. Just not today. It's going to take me practice. It's going to take me time of getting better. That's the kind of confidence you need to have. It doesn't matter if you can do it today. Nothing matters if you can do it today. What matters is, can you do it? And there's nothing you can come up with that I don't think that I can do. I just need the time, the practice, the patience. And you do too. That's what I'm getting at, is everybody they're no different than me. You can do this too. It just takes confidence, first and foremost, the utmost confidence. I believe that I can do damn near anything. And it's not because I've done it. It's not because I've proven it. It's because I believe that there is no obstacle, no trait, no skill that I can't learn, that I can't eventually get good at and do. I really do believe that. And I believe that for you too. I'm not making this shit up. You're a human being just like me. I am nothing remotely, I'm a little special. But no, I'm no different. I'm unique in the sense that I'm Adam Rich. I'm me. I live in this part of town where I'm from. I've had this upbringing, blah, 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 blah. My story is unique, but I'm not. You're not. You're a human being, and you're capable of damn near anything as long as you believe it in here first, and then you go out and execute. You practice. You have to have patience to know that you're not there yet, but you're gonna be. And I'm telling you, this stuff, it doesn't just happen overnight. I'm not saying that if I practice shooting three-pointers today, then tomorrow I won't miss one. You know what I mean? But if I practice today and every day for the next year, I guarantee you my odds of making, however many out of 100 goes up. I guarantee you that it increases. How many baskets I'm going to make is definitely going to increase the chances. So all I'm saying is, people, you have the ability. You have the ability. You just need to get your mind right. Your mindset needs to be there. Confidence comes from here, and it most certainly comes from here. You have this in you. I know you do. Regardless, maybe you're somebody that has sat behind a keyboard, has zero friends, no social skills whatsoever, nothing. Here's what you do. If you think that you are the farthest away that you could possibly be from achieving whatever goal you set, your goal's here, this is the bottom, here's the top, you are nowhere even close, right? All you have to do, first and foremost, the next level thinking is critical, man. I don't just the immediate thinking is, can I do it? Maybe, and then you call it a day. Or can I do it? No, and then you give up. That's bottom line, baseline, day one crap. Next level think. Next level is, of course I can do it. Obviously I can do it. But what is it going to take to get there? I need to go on Google and research, how do I start? How do I get better at X, at whatever skill? Maybe I want to chug 7 beers in a minute, right? How do I get good at that? Well, now let me research. How many beers can you drink in a minute? How do I get good at this? What can I practice? What should I do daily to practice this skill? I mean, I'm trying to pick the most silliest things you can think of just to show you that it literally applies to everything. Whether you're talking about drawing, journalism, acting, radio shows, podcasts, YouTube videos, whether you are in sports, you're knitting, anything, man. Whatever you think that you are terrible at, but you want to be great at, that's where it starts, is your passion. Whatever you love to do, even if you're horrible at it. Game plan, man. Think to yourself, Google is one of the greatest things that's ever happened. It's literally one of the greatest inventions of all time, if not the best invention ever, right? The simple fact that I can ask any question in the world and within seconds have an answer. Now, it might be wrong, it might be a little inaccurate, it might be vague, but you're going to have tons of responses. You type in how to fish mate. I don't know. I mean, I know that they do it. I don't know how, I think they do one of these. I don't know what they do. But my point is, I have no idea. If I want to find out within 30 seconds, I can type it in right here and I'll have an answer. It's a beautiful, beautiful world we're living in now. And there's no excuses for idiocy, mediocrity, or idiocracy, if that's even a word. Maybe it ain't. But you know how I can find out? Yeah, this guy right there. Exactly. Where's the time go? I feel good about this one, kids. I really do. I really do. But I'm telling you guys, think about this. Focus on wisdom instead of just knowledge. Anybody can go to school and read about who the 16th president was, Abe Lincoln. Anybody can read about that. But do you know what it was about him that got him to be elected? It wasn't just one policy. It wasn't just one sentence. It was a body of work. It was the way he conducted himself. It was the way he lived his life. It was the people he was around. It was all these many, many things. And when you add all these things together, then you start forming a visual of society and what he was like and how he talked and how other people lived and things. And then that's what gives you wisdom. That's what gives you to know about people and how they lived and why they lived the way that they did and how things were and the feelings people had. That's where wisdom comes in. Knowledge is just knowing that it was back in the 1800s and he happened to be the 16th president and here we are today. That's knowledge. You can read that in a book. Wisdom is feeling it though, feeling like you were there, feeling like you actually know the environment and the circumstances and just how the world was back then. It's like knowing people, knowing things that people are gonna do based on what you already know about them. That's wisdom. Knowledge is knowing what somebody did, Wisdom is almost kind of knowing what they might do next because of what they just went through. You know what I mean? Like wisdom is just knowing how people feel in the It's so many things. I don't even know how to really. I'm sure there's a a sentence, wisdom defined by Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I could read that to you all day, but I don't think that's really going to give you a full picture about what is going on. Like, you see people in the media like attacking Trump left and right? And that's you know that. But the real wisdom is in knowing why and where do they think it's going? What are they getting out of it, right? Like, whether you love Trump or hate Trump, he's still going to be the president tomorrow. And like, no matter how many times you say, screw him, I hate him, he's awful, he treats women like this, and he's a racist, and he does this. Oh, okay, that you can scream that all day long. It's just a waste of your breath. He's still going to be president tomorrow. And he's still going to make shitty comments like on Twitter, or he's going to make fun of somebody, and you're going to be like, see, the president shouldn't talk like that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. All I know is when you know things about people, you can tend to see what might be coming next. And that's how you can make decisions. That's what wisdom is about, man. Wisdom is kind of like knowing what may happen because you already know what has happened. You know, it's one of those types of deals. It's not necessarily knowing the future. It's not like, oh, well, this guy played the lottery, so on this date he's going to win this amount of money. It's not that. But you guys get what I'm saying. I know you do. And if you don't, then I'll make another video trying to explain this one. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, just try to get it in your mind. The next level thinking. Don't just think about, all right, what can I do today? Think about, if I do this today, what's it going to be like a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? Where is this going to lead? What can I do every day to help set myself up to be better and better and better? If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Nobody just stays the same. Nobody just sits still. Everything is moving. So which way are you moving? Are you moving forward? Or are you moving backwards? You know, are you doing things every day to implement, to try to pave yourself a better future? Or are you just thinking about, well, today I got to go to the grocery store and pick up this and this and this, and then I got to feed the dog, and then I got to eat lunch, and then I'm going to go take a little nap, and then I got to wake up, watch my shows, and then go to bed, and then go to work in the morning. Like, that's day one thinking. That's you may be planning out your day, but you're not thinking about anything. You're just like, it's almost like you're just reliving. It's like watching a rerun. You know, like you're living off of like, if you think about like what you're going to do today and how it only affects today, that's baseline, man. That's day one shit. It is. But if you think about, all right, like today when I was at work, I thought to myself, all right, I'm at this job, not very happy with it. Instead of focusing all my time and energy on the job that I'm not really happy with, what I need to focus my time and energy and thoughts on is how I can help build this business, this brand, this business, this idea, this way to help people. How can I put my energy? This is what I love. This is what I love doing. So how can I put my time and energy and knowledge into helping this grow? You know what I mean? And I thought about that all day at work. I was like, what kind of, like, I really want to make a video about like thinking about the future and thinking about how can I be better and what can I do to get better? Because here's the thing. And I'm going to wrap this up, but I just real quickly, this is kind of where it all stemmed from. I got a couple buddies that I work with. They're just as unhappy as me. They also are in the idea, they also kind of want to be entrepreneurs. I've talked to them both before, and I'm like, man, this isn't it. Working for these other people, making them a lot of money while we barely get any of it, and we're in the production department where everything is being made. If we don't make good parts, if we don't make good product, the company ain't making any money, which means those rich people up front ain't going to get paid if we don't do our job really well. So we do our job really well, and then all the profits go to who? Not us. Go sell them people up front. So I thought to myself, I'm like, why am I spending like 10, 20, 30 years working for a place to barely get by just to give some other a-hole a multi-million-dollar fancy lifestyle? Why am I doing that? He don't do shit for me. He don't even know I exist. He don't even like me. So why am I going out of my way to spend all my time and effort working on a shift I don't want to be on, working with, like, a lot of the people I work with I like, but it's the hours I don't like. It's midnight. I'm working midnights. It's not exactly ideal for me, but it happens to work right now. Plus, you get a little bit more money working the off shift, midnights. But the point is, it's not about the money, man. It's never been about the money for me. It's always been about how can I make a living doing something I really love and be able to make a living doing it. I'm not talking about make a living as in being multimillionaire. I'm not talking make a living like living in mansions and riding around on yachts. That's cool. I'll take it. But that's not what I mean by make a living. I mean, can I provide for myself, my wife, future children, my dog that's laying here with me right now, my little wonder dog Brady, little lovey dovey thing right here. Yeah, you are. But anyhow, it's not about today. It's not about what can I do to make money today, or how can I buy myself a nice new hoodie or a new Detroit Tigers hat, or how can I get a new video game or a new movie or a new toy for that. I don't know, whatever. Pick a thing. It doesn't matter. My life's never based on that kind of stuff. It's never based on that kind of stuff. I've always lived mainly because my parents have gotten me into a good like saving and not valuing money so much as valuing health and life. Because I remember my dad telling me like this: Stephen Hawking, who's now dead, was always in a wheelchair, and he couldn't move, and I'm not trying to make fun of the guy, but he had his issues. Well, ALS, I think it was what he had, and obviously he couldn't really do physically. He couldn't do like much of anything at all except roll around in the wheelchair thing, and he had that robotic talking voice, right? Well, my dad said it like this. My dad goes, Stephen Hawking is a multimillionaire. He's got money. Who knows how much money he's valued at? I'm sure if you looked it up on Google, once again, you'd find out. I don't know, nor do I care. Plus, he's dead now. It really doesn't matter how much money he made. But what he told me something, even when I was young, and it hit me hard. He said, would you rather have his money and live like him, or have, some money and be really healthy and able to enjoy whatever it is that you do have? And that never went away. That never left me, man. Like, I remember till the day Stephen Hawking died. I've always used that as an analogy, and obviously still even after he died. I always use that as like, if you're living for money, you're clearly living for the wrong reasons. You're definitely, money's not bad. That's a good, you want money to get by and you want money to buy things and all that. That's cool. I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is if that's your primary focus, dude, you've already failed. You've already lost the game if your primary focus is money, 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 money. If you're not healthy, what if you make all these like billions of dollars and you buy this massive ass yacht, and then you go out in the water and you get in some kind of a yacht, a boating accident, you fall and you're paralyzed, and now all of a sudden you roll around like Stephen Hawking for the rest of your life, but you're a billionaire. Is that what you want? Is that the way you want to live? Would you rather be a multi-billionaire that can buy anything that you want, but be a paraplegic who can't really move? Or would you rather make, I don't know, 70 grand a year and then just be totally healthy and just live happy and just, live within your means? But you're always healthy and you can go, where you want, and you can spend it how you want. I would take that every day of the week. Every single day I would take lower amount of money, but in perfect health, to go anywhere and do anything I want. Spend the money however I see fit. And people will say, well, 70 grand, you can't really go too many places. How do you know? What if that's the only thing I want to do is spend my money on travel? Now I can go anywhere I want. So you can't. My point is this. I would rather make a low amount of money and be perfectly healthy and live to love it and enjoy it than to be a billionaire who can't even move without life support, or without a wheelchair helping me, or without somebody pushing me, or, maybe your upper half works but your lower half doesn't, or maybe your lower half or your upper half doesn't work and your lower half does. I don't know. All I know, sorry, it's getting live in here. No, and I'm going to wrap this up, but all I know is that I help these guys that I work with think the next level thinking. They thought to themselves, they said, yeah, man, I really got to get out of here. I don't, I'm not happy here. I got to do something. I've always wanted to make, and so I started talking to this guy, right? I'm like, hey, man, what do you like doing? One of them said he really likes the food business. Has always kind of wanted to have either his own restaurant or his own food truck. He's always liked making food. He loves making people happy with his food. And I said, well, then go out there and do that, And of course, it's easy to just say that. And that's day one. That's bottom baseline thinking. That's go out there and do it. Oh, okay, sure, sounds good. All right, you thought about it. That's it. That's baseline. The other guy said he always liked designing shirts and he wanted to have his own clothing company. I said the same thing. We'll go out there and do that. That's day one. Then we get into the topic of next level thinking. Here's where it gets better. I then said to them, say the guy with the t-shirts, I said, well, what are you doing to make that happen? Oh, I don't know, man. I just thought of this. And I said, well, here's what you do. Go on Google and just type in, how do I start a t-shirt company? Or how do I make my own clothing company? And then bam, it's going to give you a start. Then from there, it's going to say, oh, if you go to this place, and this place, they'll let you design your own t-shirts. Okay, now go to that site. Now start designing your own shirts. And then research, how do I sell my own clothing company? Or how do I start and sell my own clothing? And it'll tell you how to start a website, how to start making t-shirts. It'll then tell you how to branch off and then get into the business of like with Shopify and making your own website, linking your clothing up to that Shopify, making it to where people can buy it. It never ends. You can literally Google everything. And I feel like it's some kind of a secret life hack that most people don't know, but it's so obvious. It's out there. It's everybody knows that you can literally Google anything, but yet nobody thinks to themselves, how do I get started? And that's what I did with this. I said, how do I start my own podcast? That's how it all started. When I was at work and I thought to myself, these people suck. They're screwing me over left and right. How do I get out of this? And I said, man, I've always loved the idea of having a podcast, and I watch Joe Rogan and I see these other guys making YouTube videos and they're helping people. And I'm like, man, that'd be awesome to do that kind of stuff. And now I'm out here doing it. And it's not because I just said to myself, maybe I should do it, and then I just did it. No, I had to research stuff. I read, man, I've watched tons of hours of YouTube videos. I've watched people, even if it had nothing to do with how to build a podcast, I've watched and studied what other people did and why they're successful. What do they talk about? What kind of things do they do? What things can I do? Because I'm not trying to be any certain person. I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan. I'm not trying to be this guy. I'm not trying to be that guy. What I am trying to do is be me, but in a way that is useful and helpful and can provide value to you. That's the goal. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be me, but I want to do some of the things that helped him get what he got, what helped make him big. And then I even went this far. I said, okay, well, I need podcast equipment. I had the computer. I bought the computer. I got everything kind of up and going there. And then I thought to myself, I was like, oh, all right, well, the most successful podcast in the business is probably Joe Rogan's. There might be a couple other here and there, but the one of the ones that I care about, one of the most successful and the ones that I like was Joe Rogan. So then I went on Google and I typed in, what kind of equipment does Joe Rogan use, right? And I didn't think it would actually tell me. I thought that maybe it might say, oh, Joe Rogan is sponsored by this or something, right? I thought maybe that would happen. No, dude, there's literally a website page. There are a page that I found on Google. I'm sure you can find it now. I just did this, a couple months ago, whatever. I'm sure it's not gone. I typed in, what does Joe Rogan use? And what it showed, the Joe Rogan Experience, his podcast. And it literally named every piece of equipment he uses. I'm talking the cameras, the mixing board, the microphones, the arm stands that it's on. It showed... the video recording equipment. It showed the headphones. It even showed the damn chair he was sitting on. It showed what chair he uses in studio. I was blown away by this, and you have no idea how helpful this stuff is, because I'm sure if you notice, maybe the arm here, this arm that I got that is from Rode, is not the same arm, not the same boom arm or whatever that he uses. But I guarantee you, if you look at this right here, this little mic action, that's exactly what he uses. And because I thought, I heard how he sounded, and I was like, man, he sounds pretty good. Now, granted, it probably sounds better if I'm up here like this. It probably sounds a little more clean, but I don't want to sit here and talk like this the entire time. I want to get animated. I want to be lively. So I'm going to be back here. Now, it's not going to sound perfect. And plus, I'm not in a soundproof studio. I'm in my dining room with a backdrop. You know what I mean? So I can't, I'm not quite Rogan level yet, but I'm trying, I'm shooting, I got goals too. And, anyway, the point that I'm getting at is that literally everything that I have is that everything that I've become, which is not even the end product, right? I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better. I'm still trying to provide more value for you, because ultimately, let's be honest, let's not bullshit each other here. If I'm not providing you value, you're not going to be listening, right? If I'm just telling you a bunch of BS that's lies or doesn't pan out for you, you're going to stop listening. And neither one of us wants that. If for me to help you, I have to be honest, I have to be factual, I have to be sincere, I have to be genuine, and that's exactly what you're getting out of me. You'll see. I mean, if I'm bullshitting you on something, call me out. Leave a note leave something in the comments. If you're listening to this on audio, through Spotify, Google, wherever you're listening, right? If you're listening to this with audio, you're not seeing the goofy animated faces that I may or may not be making, but you do still hear me. You do still feel the message. You feel that I'm being genuine. I'm not trying to puff myself to add viewers and subscribers. I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to share the content. I would love for you to like. I think that goes without saying. But the ultimate goal here is to be valuable to you, to mean something to you, to help you get to where you want to be. I had to, nobody showed me this stuff. Nobody helped me do this. I had to literally research everything, because my goal, my plan, my idea was, I know I can do this. I know I can be good. I know I have the means to do it. I just got to focus. I got to practice. I got to study. I got to be better. And I got to know that I can be better. And I know you can too. I know that everyone watching this knows you can be better. I know that you have it in you. All right? There's something burning in you, a passion for something, whatever it is. Maybe it's making picnic baskets. Maybe it's walking dogs. I don't know what the hell it is. What I do know is that whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can be great at it. You just have to give it time. You have to be patient. You have to practice your ass off. And you have to not give up anytime, no matter how big the obstacle is. If you think to yourself, man, I desperately got to be on the internet, and then you lose your house, your cable, and you have no internet, guess what you do still? Probably have a cell phone. Cell phones have camera phones. Or they have cameras on them now. You can literally take videos of anything that you want. If you make baskets and you're homeless, right? Now, this is extreme, and I don't expect anybody to be in this position, because obviously if you're listening to this, you're probably not homeless. That being said, say you have it the worst. You're as far away as physically possible. There's always a little way. There's always a spark. There's always one tiny stepping stone for you to get onto first. And then the world is your oyster after that. I promise you. And if there's anything else I can do to help, if there's anything else I can tell you, please comment. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, anywhere you can find me. Leave a comment. Find me anywhere. Email me. Whatever you got to do, please. I want to help. I'm here to help. I want to coach. I want to teach. I want to do anything I can to get you to that next level thinking. That's what you desperately need it, man. I'm telling you, it's critical. It's huge. Don't just think about today. Think about tomorrow. Think about the rest of your life. Think about the next few years. Think about who you could be affecting, who you can do this with. Try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Any decision you try to make in life, try to put yourself in other people's shoes, like especially people closest to you, people that it might affect. Put yourself in their shoes and think, how would they perceive this? Right? That's what it's about, man. That's next level thinking. Think about all the things you can possibly think about. Don't just think about today and what it means today. Think about what it might mean a year from now, 10 years from now. Think about it all. Oh, man, I can't possibly get into it enough. And I'm sure there's plenty of things I'm forgetting, but I'll make more videos. We'll share this again. But I don't know. That's all I really wanted to get into today. I just wanted to share this with people, and Hopefully you like hopefully you like the content, you like what I'm saying. Hopefully you take something from this, something valuable. And if I can help you in any way, shape, or form, please allow me to do so. This is why we're here. And man, I thank you guys for listening. I can't begin to tell you how much I love you. Anyone who's a part of this, listening, watching, anything, I love you all. And I thank you so much for all this. And yeah, let's do this again soon. All right. I'll see you soon.